what has been disregarded and ignored since we had our situation with our business. Now, some of you know that we had a business that we used to do in Swanton, Ohio, a private CB store. Our store was broken into back in January of 2022. We were victims of what seemed to be a hate crime, and obviously the police delayed response and all of that is a whole other level, but that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today and show you guys the evidence is exactly what our store looked like after our first incident, after the very first time we were broken into. I want to show you guys what was in the building and on the premises. Now, we were under policy with State Farm and under this baseless investigation that they wanted to take my corporation for, basing everything on me, one of the officers of the corporation. However, the reality of it is they allowed us to rob a second time completely of every single thing that we had left, completely total loss now, because even the products that we had on camera, on evidence, what was still in the premises and on the premises, we had to file a court action, which I'm going to cover with you guys as well, disclosing who was the person responsible, and State Farm failed to conduct a full investigation in questioning Deborah McSorley. They never contacted her, they never questioned her, and she was responsible for the second incident, resulting in a total loss for our business. Everything that we had, everything. You guys watched us put this whole company together. We put it all on camera. And so you mean to tell me nothing gets returned to us and State Farm doesn't want to cover any of the responsibility? No, it doesn't work that way, State Farm. You guys have to accept the responsibility. The reality is we were still under policy. And we filed a court action in Fulton County naming the person responsible that could have been responsible for the first incident. However, you never conducted a full investigation. So let me show you guys. I'm going to share my screen here. And the first thing I want to do is show you the property, some of the pictures of the property after the break-in. So you guys can see here, there's a TV on the wall. There's some products still on the shelf here. This is, I don't know what's in that box here. Whatever it is, they kind of, whatever was on that front shelf. But let's take a look here. This is after the break-in, after the first incident. So I want you to pay clean attention to the fact that there's a TV still on the wall. There's products still on the one of the shelves. That picture wasn't supposed to be there. Then you take a look here. There's products on the shelf. Here's a picture from the exterior of the store showing products back here, even on this shelf here. Let's see here. Products here behind the shelf, products on the shelf, products on the shelves here. This is after the break-in. Products, whatever the heck, they trashed in those boxes, but there's products in those boxes, products on the shelves here. All of this is evidence of what the store looked like after the break-in. So my issue that I have here is the fact that the reality of it is, let me see here. I want to make sure you guys see everything here. We put together this business, me and my wife. We had the opening right downtown in Swanton, Ohio with the mayor here, and nobody even contacted the mayor. State Farm didn't contact the mayor, question, and I had direct conversations with this mayor that I also provided to State Farm. They never contacted the mayor, questioned the mayor about anything, and his business was located right there as well, downtown Swanton. So the next thing I want you guys to see here is, here's the filed action that we actually filed in court, naming Deborah McSorley as the person responsible for the second break-in. I'm going to share that with you, but I want you to, first of all, I want you guys to see some more pictures here. This was the outside of our store after the break-in. Okay. I want you guys to see some more here because I want you guys to really understand why this is a problem. Products still on the shelf here. Let's see here. I want you guys to see all of this. Now, the main thing I want you to see here is there was a person. First of all, let's read the complaint that we filed in court. This is the second complaint that we filed in Fulton County Court about the property that remained on the premises that we also made State Farm Fire and Casualty aware of. An unknown third party broke into the business, stole a great deal of inventory, destroyed the interior of the premises, and sprayed racial obscenities across the walls, very clearly directed at plaintiff, an African-American marked. We know the name. The property damage committed at the premises made it so that the plaintiff could no longer operate the HCV Distribution Corporation at 108 South Main Street, Swanton, Ohio, and thus has no pending income because you guys destroyed it. You guys know that how important our corporation was to a whole bunch of people involved here. Plaintiff began the filing of an insurance claim with State Farm Fire and Casualty Company to renew his business. While waiting on the pending and insurance claim, defendant's business was entirely defunct due to the condition of the premises and thus fell behind on payments. In April of 2022, plaintiff, which was Deborah McSurley, locked the doors to the defendant's business, disposed defendant of the premises without bringing a forfeiture action in court. So she did all of this illegally. Although inventory was lost during the criminal act of the unknown third parties, a significant amount of inventory, personal property, business property, displays, and other items were still present at the premises at the time of disposition. Defendant has made a demand for the return of all property belonging to defendant and his business in the possession of plaintiff. Plaintiff has admitted and acknowledges possession of property lawfully owned by defendant and has provided evidence of that fact. Plaintiff outright refuses to return the property to the defendant. Plaintiff's conversion has altered the chain of title of the inventory now in her possession, thus making it unable to certify a safe product and effectively ruining its value. So this is the filed court action clearly stating that Deborah McSurley obviously unlawfully took possession of our property. And then she hired this guy, let him in the property while we were still under policy, while we were still under investigation with State Farm Fire and Casualty, and nobody questioned this guy. Nobody figured out who this guy is, why is he in there, who let him in there. This is our property here. He clearly cleaned out the property and did whatever he wanted to do with whatever property of value and then threw out the rest. All under Deborah McSurley's authorization, unlawful authorization. And State Farm never questioned any of these people. This is why this is such a problem for me, because this was my entire life savings that I poured into this business, and it was meant to be around for my grandchildren. Now, I set up a business that was completely robbed from me, and I've got clear evidence of when these things transpired. State Farm Fire Casualty and Company still has made every excuse of why they don't want to take care of something that they know that they're responsible for. How can you tell me you're not responsible when I've got clear evidence of an unknown intruder in the property? We filed an action in court. You never questioned Deborah McSurley in any shape, form, or fashion, and she admitted that she spoke to State Farm and they told her that our claim was denied. She's not on our policy. We've got under oath evidence of the fact. We've got under oath evidence of this. You clearly violated our rights. And the reality is the writing is on the wall. This is evidence of proof that we had property on the premises after the first incident, while you guys had an investigation going on. where you somehow never contacted any of the partners of our corporation. You never contacted my wife. You never contacted any of the shareholders of our corporation. You never contacted anybody. You literally based an investigation clearly just on me and my personal finances. You denied our claim unlawfully. You hired a forensic accountant who clearly states that they couldn't understand the Square system, which is a national system used by every THC company that's out there now. You clearly violated our rights, State Farm. We're only doing this because we feel like you violated our rights, and we are not going to stop until you're held accountable for this. You can't deny the fact that there's some unknown guy in the property while we're still under coverage with you guys. Every single piece of property that was still in that building should have been covered. That means the furniture, the camera systems, the display systems, all of that stuff that was never returned to us. Thousands of dollars. Do you think those display systems cost $100? We really spent a lot of money to build this place up and make it look the way it did. None of it was returned to us. State Farm Fire and Casualty, come on. Come on. You guys are on TV talking about you're right in everybody's neighborhood. Well, how did this happen and nothing was done about it? Matter of fact, how did the police show up an hour late and they're 0.2 miles from the business and you guys don't question them? How does McNeil Chevrolet call me impersonating the police and you don't call McNeil's, and I worked there for 7 years as the finance manager? I just don't understand what type of an investigation or questioning or interviews that you called or pulled, because for my calculations, you never spoke to anybody that I was connected to. You should have been talking to the mayor. You should have been talking to McNeil's. I worked there as the finance manager. I wasn't just a salesman. Everybody that bought a newer used car had to sit down and talk to me for 7 years. And I decided to quit and come out of that dealership and go into my own business. And this was all taken from me. And you guys are just sitting back telling me that it's no, it's not, no, you can't do that. This is evidence here. Who's this guy? I need somebody to tell me who is this guy in my property when we were still covered under insurance, hired by Deborah McShirley to tear out the property. And State Farm Fire and Casualty, you still don't want to assume the responsibility even for that. Clear, unfair, deceptive practices here. And we're not going to stop until you're held accountable. Please, please, please don't forget to like, share, comment. Listen, I love all of the support. We had over 1,500 views on the video that we did yesterday. We're going to continue to share these videos because we need to make sure that this does not happen to somebody else. You need to know your rights. Do not allow people to just mistreat you here. I keep everything. I document everything. The only reason I'm bringing this stuff up is because I've got the evidence. You think I'm just going to sit up here and make up something? Our rights were violated, and they are still disregarding this like it doesn't matter. No, you can't do that. I'm a public officer too. Then we both signed to swear and uphold the Constitution, both the United States and the state of Ohio. Then how in the world are my rights violated and you're sitting back like it's okay? No, it's not okay. You've destroyed my life. You destroyed several lives behind me. You've destroyed corporations and businesses, and all happen to be an African-American minority-owned company. The only one that was open at the time in Swanton, Ohio. That's gone. That whole opportunity is gone because we didn't rent that building. We purchased it on land contract and we've lost that building. All of that, all of our interest is gone. So you can't sit back and just say, no, this is not important. No. How would you feel if somebody walked in and stole your entire business and told you it wasn't important? Are you kidding me? You blamed me for something, and the police were late. Like I had some magical knowledge to knowing that the police were going to be an hour late. I mean, I just don't understand the scam here. I'm asking for you to admit your mistake and just man up to it. Quit making excuses. We've got the evidence, clear evidence. I didn't make this up. She clearly states right there on under oath that she talked to the State Farm Corporation customer service, and they disclosed to her that our claim was denied. She said it under oath. So I don't know if you want to say it was Jeff Lambert that said it to her or whoever said it to her, Joe Schmo, Billy Schmo. I don't care. Clearly, our rights were violated. And somehow, some way, Deborah McSorley was able to have the knowledge that we were waiting for over a year, that our claim was denied before we did. What made her lock the doors on us? What gave her the knowledge to do so? Because somebody disclosed that information, and she says it under oath. So we can't keep dancing back and forth, State Farm. You have to acknowledge these violations, because it's not right to keep trying to push it under the rug like it doesn't matter, because it does matter. I've never been a criminal, and to be implicated that I'm a criminal, and to be allegations put on me, and then for you guys to talk about my appearance, talk about my clothing. I got on the same amount of jewelry that I've always wore. You guys are a scam. You don't get to disclose that type of information about somebody while you're determining a claim, especially when I'm not the person that's insured. The corporation is insured. So you should have been calling my other partners in there, and you should have been questioning everybody. You didn't question everybody, and I gave you all this information. You had it all. It's all on public knowledge with the state of Ohio. You knew who the officers were, and I gave you this information because we've got the evidence of that too. We gave you every person that was connected, every person you could have called. You didn't call any of these people because you had it in your mind to blame this on me and my sister, completely negating the fact that the police department completely mistreated me, wrongfully fingerprinted me, and interrogated me. And they were the ones that were late. And you don't investigate them. You don't question them, State Farm. Come on. Come on. This is a small town. There was people in that town that wanted to see our business destroyed. And you guys sat back and allowed it to happen. And you were supposed to be my insurance company. You just can't do that. We have to take a look at this. So the Ohio Department of Insurance has been aware of all of this information. And every time we release something, we do turn it in. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to stop until you honor our settlement offer. Because at the end of the day, you know the things that you violated. And we're not even, requesting what we should be requesting. We're asking you to make our lives whole again. Because it's been a long 2-year fight, and a lot of lives have changed because of your negligence. Until next time, be blessed on purpose.